Alright, welcome back guys to another gun build in Modern Warfare 2. This time we're going to be going over the one gun that is practically hit scan. Kind of like the SPR when it first came out, with all its, like broken barrels and ammunition attachments that made it to where that it was hit scan to a certain distance out. This gun is the MCR, or like PR 300, pretty much the 50 cal or Barrett 50 cal, but bolt action instead of semi-automatic. So it's not as awesome, but what's really cool with it coming with the bolt action there, it sacrifices more fire rate for way higher bullet velocity. So this is the equivalent of the HDR, I guess. A lot of people would say like, the Signal 50 or the Lynx would be more so the HDR because it is a anti-material rifle at that point. Um, you can say that, but what's really cool about this is the actual MCPR 300, and what this is that it's one of these sniper rifles that are supposed to be the second heaviest. So the LAB 33 or 330 or 330, that one has a way better handling speed, and the SPX 80, which is more or less like the AX 50 from Modern Warfare. So you could put that on. Or actually, I guess that's more or less of the intervention. But those two are supposed to be more of a faster handling kind of weapon. And the Signal 50, this is almost exactly like the 50 cal. Oh, the game kind of glitched out there. Not sure what that was all about. Um, yeah, so it's like the 50 cal back in Modern Warfare. So, I had a large amount of like really high fire rate with a 5-round magazine, exactly like this. But the bullet velocity was really low, and the accuracy was not the absolute best. It's pretty much a copy and paste, but with a different model and a couple extra things that you could put on for ammunition types and stuff like that. Which is funny because it has, an explosive variant for a ammunition when it is a 50 cal anti-material rifle. So that's anti everything that you pointed at. But uh, then what's really cool, so like the Signal 50, yeah, you can kill a large amount of people in quick succession with it, and doesn't really kick really hard, but you don't really have the amount of bullet velocity to accurately hit people at really long ranges. So it does kind of lack in some degree when it comes to longer ranges. It still will be a one-shot kill, has enough power behind it in order to get a one-shot kill really wherever. But I want it to where I can accurately aim directly at someone and destroy them within like a matter of like a fraction of a second when I'm looking at them across the map, well over 300 to 400 meters. And this is why I went with the most accurate build for the Barrett. I want to call her the Barrett MRAD. And what this is pretty much making it to where it's hit scan. And this is going to be adding technically 3 attachments altogether that they probably should not allow me to put on, but I'll go over it. So the very first attachment you want to be putting on is the 22-inch OMX 456 barrel. So this is going to be the longest one you have. It gives you an increase of bullet velocity, which is what we're really looking for. Damage range is always a good one. Recoil control, not really necessary when it comes to a bolt action. And hip fire accuracy, which is kind of weird when you have a longer barrel. I don't know if you will ever actually use that, but you could. So all that it's going to do is make it to where it's a lot more accurate in almost every single area, while also giving you a major increase of bullet velocity. But we're going to increase that even more by putting on the BRUEN Agent 90, or you can put on the FTAC Reaper. Either one really works to do about the same. I think the FTAC Reaper gives you a little bit more accuracy, so I'm going to be putting that one on instead, and it looks a little bit beefier, so I'm going to be running that. What that does is gives you sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil smoothness. So you're looking for that damage range increase and that bullet velocity, so it's a little bit stretched out even more with those two, and that's already now 2 different attachments increasing your bullet velocity. But we're not done yet. We still have a third one that we can go down. This is at the very end, and this is the 300 Magnum high velocity. And tapered rounds designated to increase projectile velocity. It does reduce a little bit of your damage range, but it's already been buffed twice through the other attachment, so it kind of negates that whole con there. You still have more than what you have by default. And the pros being bullet velocity, so it just straight up increases it even more. So with these 3 barrels, or not 3 barrels, that would be funny as can be, but no, 3 attachments, you are able to get this gun to where it's a hit scan, at least in ground war and invasion, anything that has like a real long line of sight. You will be very consistently landing your shots, and a large amount of cases you don't even need to lead your target at that point. You just kind of fire and, you know, get a hit scan at that point. And, you know, I wanted to double down on this by, you know, just straight up increasing, because I already seen that the accuracy with those 3 attachments were really, like, you know, was almost at the max. So I gone ahead and put on the stock, which is the CRONEN line stock. Gives me extra aiming stability, you know, just makes it to where I'm able to line up shots a little bit easier. And without needing to hold my breath, or if I'm waiting in the periods between holding my breath or not. And I also put on the bolt, which is the CRONEN B50 or 85 bolt, and this is the opposite of the smooth bolt. So instead of increasing my rechamber speed, it's going to decrease my rechamber speed, but increase the rechambering accuracy. So makes it to where that while I'm, you know, rechambering another round, if I'm scoped in on my sniper rifle, I could still be able to track an enemy really well. So I'm able to accurately track and then fire off a second round with pretty much ease, so it doesn't, you know, wobble my scope around and I could possibly miss by the end of the animation. So I'll put that on there. So all around gives me a little bit of a damage boost, as you can see in the stats there. It doesn't really increase my damage. It just that's meant for more increasing damage range and also range in total. So it just makes it to where I'm a little bit better in that category. A large amount of these stats are very misleading when it just shows like a general increase, but that could be like 2 to 3 different stat differences or pros being put into that'll count and put in like a little bit of a green chunk in there. So it's kind of weird. So I don't really look at the stat bars that much unless I know exactly what these attachments are doing. The fire rate went down a small amount. The gun is already bolt action. It's not really fast firing, so putting the bolt on here, it'll just make it to where it's about the same speed as if you're like reloading a HDR, or I mean rechambering an AX50 or an HDR, so it's not that different at all. Recoil control is up by a little bit. The range is almost at max. I can't really increase the range anymore. I want to see something real quick. Yeah, you can't really increase the range anymore. You can put on a sniper scope if you want to, but that doesn't really do a whole lot more. But yeah, so the range is almost at max. You don't need to worry about that. The accuracy is already at max though, so you have that because, you know, you have a hit scan sniper rifle, and this is the only gun I found so far that you can actually max out an entire stat bar anyway when it comes to the actual visual representation here. And you got recoil control, like I said, went up a very small amount. That's mostly for the barrel and the muzzle on that end, both helping out when it comes to recoil control. And a little bit of loss to mobility because, you know, you have a gun that's not as fast firing and you have a way longer barrel and muzzle to add some weight onto there, and handling, obviously when it has a cost of mobility, handling will go down as well. So it's not near as fast. It's also going with the rechamber speed, so that drops it down an absolute ton. So yeah, so this is pretty much the hit scan weapon. I can try it out in the multiplayer. I'm playing in private match right now since I already have access to all the attachments. I'll be running around with that. But it's kind of hard to actually show off sniper rifles because I only have the 6v6 maps, but I can go ahead and show you guys how it kind of generally handles. And I'll see if I can find like other builds, probably for like the Signal 50 or anything along those lines, to make something even crazier. But we'll find out. Alright, so here we go. So as you can see, it's way slower. You want to use this thing when it comes to like really long range sniping. It's obviously something that you don't want to be aggressive with. But it'll be a hit scan pretty much wherever you go. It's the fastest bullet you can get in the game so far. Compared to the 50 BMG or the Signal 50 or the Lynx. That's actually what it's called. Headshots will be absolutely awesome on this. Yeah, so I just wanted to show this off. It's nothing really too crazy, it's just a sniper rifle. I think this build will come in handy more so in the really near future when Warzone 2 drops. So you guys can use a really cool sniper rifle. So you could probably change this thing up a little bit. Like I said, I just wanted to increase the one of the stat bars, so the accuracy all the way up, since it was already really high up there. But obviously you don't need to do that. I just wanted to show off that this gun does have potential when it does come to increasing, one of the stat bars. But you can swap out, like the stock, put on a faster one to increase like ADS speed or anything along those lines to where it's a little bit more snappy. But keep all the attachments, like a longer barrel and suppressor. I know that's going to be on the builds anyway for Warzone. This is going to be the exact same repeat as last time. But they'll have that. So you can put that on there, and you can also run like the high velocity magazine to where you can just get very accurate headshots while still being a little bit snappy. And the sway is not that bad, especially when you get yourself like an initial first shot off on there. You can always hold your breath as well, so it's not too bad at all. So increasing aiming stability for sniper rifles isn't really a necessity, since you do have that built-in focusing system on there. So it is kind of useless, especially in this game. Now, it did have an actual little bit of a roll back in Modern Warfare. If you stacked up all the attachments that held out aiming stability, the sniper rifle, or the scope to the sniper rifle, wouldn't even sway at all. It would be fixed in a position to where the reticle would not move. So no matter what, your first shot will land on the target, no matter what. So you didn't even need to use the hold breath function on there. Yeah, so there we go. I want to know what you guys think about it down in the comments. I know I can't really show it off too well in private match, but you guys can test it out in ground war. I don't really have all the attachments unlocked for it just yet. So that, again, that's why I'm running a private match. I will pretty dang soon, and hopefully get some gameplay for you guys to really show off how far range this thing can actually get a kill. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments. I'll see y'all in the next one.